Hello guys, I decided to play a new game. I tried Riders of Icarus and of course my computer turned off again. So I can't do it again. So this is Myra here playing Without Within. It is a Steam game. I played it a long time ago. So bear with me. I'm not good with it, but I know it's a different type of game. I forgot what kind of gameplay. Vanity, vanity, vanity. The chants of my fans echoed through the door in front of me. Oh, look at the stars. No, you're supposed to read the screen. I know that much. Oh, I had it on auto. Yeah. Leave it on auto. Am I supposed to do something? Maybe I'm supposed to put enter. No. Oh! The guard had no reason to fret. I had long since grown used to these crowds. Still, I nodded to put him at ease. After taking a deep breath, he pushed the door open. A crowd of hundreds raised their cameras as soon as I stepped out. My guards waved their arms to shoo them away. The red carpet was for me to walk on. After all, I blew a kiss for the Star Trek Stark peasants. Miss Venti, please let us hurry, my bodyguard said. Too bad for him. I strutted along like a model on a catwalk. A group of reporters managed to worm through the crowd. They now tiptoed over my guards in hopes of scoring the exclusive. Venti, how does it feel to have won another Calligraphy of the Year award? A reporter asked me. Before I could answer, another dozen people shouted over each other, hoping for my attention. Venti, may I get a photo with you? Can you sign some of my autographs for my kids? And two for me, of course? I can't believe I'm standing this close to Venti. My fans stamped their dirty shoes all over the red carpet. Finally, my bodyguards pulled out their pepper sprays to keep these fans in check. A young male reached in my direction despite having a spray aimed at his face, rather admirable for a peasant. I extended a hand for this male fan to kiss it. Unfortunately for him, he fainted at the sight of my perfectly polished nails. I reached my limousine at last. My bodyguard opened the door for me. As I climbed in, my trailing fans snapped as many photos as they could. Miss Venti, the crowd chanted as my car window pulled up. How odd, they never referred to me as Miss. Oh, my graceful presence must have been too much for their sanity. These poor things. Miss Venti. Oh. Well, I had fun while it lasted. At least I got to ride in a limousine for a good 30 seconds. In real life, my only registered vehicle, well, my 10-year-old bicycle, my apartment had no space for a car anyway. Actually, this single room was cracked with cracked walls might be an insult to the word apartment. Pull up those curtains for a spectacular $1 view featuring a sewage pipe and a wall tainted with yellow. Just open the window if you wish to smell the sewage as well. A breathtaking experience. By the way, sorry, I need to take back the one room thing. This place actually has two rooms. Thank you very much. The second room happened to be a toilet. That still counted, right? The toilet clogged 3 times a month, so be careful when using it. Miss Venti, a woman's voice echoed from outside. She was no friend, but rather my landlady. I glanced over at the clock, 6 a.m. Waiting another hour or two would have been nice. She probably just wanted to tell me about another rent rise. Nothing good ever came out of that woman's mouth. I would be better off staying in bed. Rise and shine. Coming. As I changed into something more appropriate, the landlady still kept knocking. I said, I was coming. Did I not? Maybe I should walk out naked if that was the what she dug. If this were a game, we might get a sale boost too. Good morning, Miss Venti, the lady said. I must ask, what's with that hair? It looks like you just woke up. It's a waste for young ladies like you to sleep in anyway your youth. Sleep away your youth. The landlady shook her head. She had no right to preach me like this. I wanted to tell her, but decided against it, as doing so would give her an excuse to lecture me further. With her size, if I enraged her, she would squash me into a venti flavored pancake. Miss Venti, your rent was due 3 days ago. Oh, well, at least there was no rent increase. Sorry, ma'am. My next paycheck will come after tonight's shift, so I'll pay you first thing tomorrow morning. The landlady grunted. All right, just know that if this keeps up, you'll have to find somewhere else to live. She spun around to leave. There goes the door. Once she disappeared behind that corridor, I kicked my door shut, causing a piece of crack wall to fall off. I tried shoving the piece back in place. My effort resulted in more wall fragments flaking off. Great. The landlady would make me pay for that next month. Once I became an accomplished calligrapher, she would beg for a chance to shine my shoes. Hey, I sounded a bit ranty before, but that was never my intention. A lot of famous people had humble beginnings. I would follow in their footsteps, but first I need to put in the work. And so I returned to the busiest street in my area. With my calligraphy spread before me, I sat on the concrete, rested my back against the fence. Car horns blared behind me, mixed with people shouting things about each other's mothers. These cars kept expelling fumes that made me choke. Just one of the many things I deal with in the name of art. Pedestrians took up almost all of every inch in the space on the street ahead. Surely, this would be the day when somebody spotted my talent. Mmm. 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 As always, no one afforded me anything more than a passing glance, and my will soon dwindle. Let me be honest. I never expected to be showered with praise by every head who passed here. What was that old saying? 10% of the people you reach out to will buy your work. I could live with that. Even just 1%. Please, anything but zero. I wanted to scream at these people. They had no idea how much sweat I poured into these calligraphies. Persevere. I decided to keep this displeasure to myself. People often said patience would be rewarded. I wondered if my patience would ever become worthwhile. Just as I thought this, a man paused to look at my calligraphies. He had a bucket of fried chicken in his hand. The smell made my mouth water. As the man eyed my works one by one, I felt my cheeks heating up with anticipation. At last, someone who spared more than a moment with my works. This must be my reward. The timing could hardly be more perfect. I summoned the courage to speak with the man, but he spoke first. You're charging for these? I managed a tiny nod. The man snorted. I would never hang these on my wall even if I gave them to me for free. Even if you gave them to me for free. Seriously, This is the most shameless display I've ever seen. Trolls online were one thing. Confronting one in real life was a rarity. Judging from the man's scrawny arms, I bet I could overpower him with ease. Then he would know just how big of a blunder he had made. I'm going to restrain myself. Folks always said to ignore trolls. I clenched my teeth and stayed put. After chuckling in my face, um, the man strutted off. Determined to prove him wrong, I continued to sit and wait for potential customers. Another 1,000 people walked by without sparing me a look. Lingering here any longer would be a waste of time. As I packed my things, I insisted I was leaving because my part-time job started in an hour. Deep inside, I knew that man's words had rocked my confidence. Giving up on calligraphy would mean I had wasted all this time over nothing. Yet, if I lacked the gift, persevering might make things worse. Tears welled in my eyes, and I clenched my fist to hold them back. Speaking of tears, I heard a kid crying within the crowd. Looked like we had a lost child on our hands. Some pedestrians shot him glances, but none of them offered more than that. These really were horrible people. To cheer myself up, I told myself I would never want my calligraphies to be owned by people like that. I should have helped the kid, but that would mean being late for my job. Sorry, kid, Ms. Venti had a job to go to. Convincing myself that another person would help him, I headed off to work. The next morning, the kid from yesterday appeared in the news. The reporter announced he had gone missing. Guilt seized my heart, threatened to crush it. I ended up being just as selfish as the people I had criticized. A lowlife like me had no right to dream about success. I could never return to that place without being tormented by the remorse. And so, my little stint as an artist came to an end. Bad end. Okay, that game is over. Wow. I messed up. Honestly, I shouldn't have played this game, but I thought it was fun to play it. I guess choosing on the options, depending on the options you choose throughout the game, the longer it can go. At least I learned how to play the game. Alright, thanks guys for watching this gameplay. Feel free to leave some comments down below if you have any questions or comments or thoughts on my gameplay. Thumb it up if you just enjoyed me reading, which I hate reading out loud. And of course, you're welcome to subscribe to my channel. Thanks guys. Peace.